Sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, May the 8th, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is another Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Don't tell me what to do.
Then don't say hello, gentlemen.
Yes. Howdy out there in the amazing world of the Get On With It Sports podcast.
And Pete is trying to talk, but he's actually muted himself. So
nobody can listen to anything from this year because nothing's current on any of the platforms.
This is true.
Anyway.
That's. I got an email just today. It's getting fixed. It'll be done by tomorrow. That's what I've been told. So.
Oh yeah.
But we don't have to tell anybody that because in this show, by the time this one actually does propagate, everything will be done. So we don't have to tell them that. So everything's good.
It's not live right now?
Well, it's live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Twitch, but it's not live on Spreaker.
Well, nothing is.
It goes up on Spreaker after. My point is, by the time this is live on Spreaker, everything else will be. So we don't have to tell them that.
All right. Well, this is for the 4 people listening on Facebook.
There you go. Actually, a lot more people have been listening on Twitch lately, too, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Twitch is the place to be.
Twitch is the place for the...
Sounds like the old version of Hulu. Everything is one day late.
I know. There's a place I know where the cats all go called Bedrock.
Twitch. It's called Twitch.
Exactly. For those of you that are younger than 45, you'll have no idea what I meant by that.
Is Twitch like Twatter?
Twats like Twitcher.
Twats like Twitcher. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Something like that. Anyway, so how are you two fine gentlemen on this fine evening?
Oh, I have no idea.
All I know is that my air conditioning's not on yet, and I'm wearing a hockey sweater on the show. So this was a poor choice.
Nobody said you were smart.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I didn't put my...
You always look like a kid being taken to a game by his dad.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
And I have a weird sun thing coming on that I can't control. It makes me feel like I'm behind a microfiche lens.
There you go. Well, it's not even 6 o'clock by you yet, so
no, not quite.
7 minutes away.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I, of course, eschew all elements of the outdoor world.
In the dark, in
the dark.
What's it like outside? I don't know, and I don't care.
Exactly. I gotta love it. All right. Well, I think we should kick it off with the obligatory memes that we do.
Let's do some memes.
Apparently, Harry did not want to do the memes.
All right. Well, let's wait for him. He's coming back. Let's just sit here silently until he returns.
Not say a word until he actually pops back up on the screen.
Oh, this is
couldn't have timed that any better.
I put the screen in full screen, and normally there's the chat box on the side, but it's not. Just what comes up in the chat appears on the screen ghosty in this mode. That's
pretty funny.
I kind of like that. So it says Harry Lug Nutz, proceed, and then it disappears after a few seconds.
Oh.
So
here he's back up. Where did you go?
I thought I could go get some dinner while you guys do these fucking memes.
Out of the
I was like, as soon as I said that, you're gone. I'm like, what the hell?
No, I was adjusting. I think it's better now. I was just adjusting the.
Oh yeah, that's
sunlight.
You were adjusting the sunlight.
You
have the power to adjust
like
the sunlight.
Wimbledon in the early afternoon match.
I can adjust the sunlight. I just can't get anybody to watch this goddamn podcast.
Gotta love it. All right, so let's blow through these. Here we go. We'll start off with this one. This is a map coordinates, right? I thought it was funny. An open door. The name of the place is called An Open Door, and it's temporarily closed. So I thought that was pretty good.
Well, an open door can close. Trust me, I know.
This is true. An open door temporarily closed.
At least it's temporary.
At least it's temporary.
Right.
At least that's what she's telling you.
Shouldn't be in a cave.
By the time we get there, it might be open.
It might be open by the time you get there.
Might be.
This
does not seem like a place to go, by the way. This looks like it's a It looks like a compound where January 6thers are going.
Like the open door is in the ground.
Prepare their weaponry.
The open door is in the ground, and it's the stairs that go down.
It's not. Yeah, the door opens up, right?
Exactly. Bunker on the Idaho-Washington state line.
And you disappear into the underground labyrinth of a cult.
That's right. Where your pipe. They pipe in Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan nonstop, and you're forced to eat raw elk meat while cold plunging.
All righty. On that note, on the next one, we have.
But then you get really, really high.
You get really high. Well, that's important. Right?
Well, yeah.
So I had to put this up because I'm trying to figure out what the hell it was even meant. Right? It's somebody sitting in a chair, I'm assuming, and it says Wadding Hall.
Waiting hall, like a waiting room.
I would guess waiting.
Yeah.
Maybe waiting, but wadding.
Maybe wadding means something in another. In I don't know what country do you think that is?
Above it, is that something?
It's got to be some sort of Arabic, right? I mean,
it almost looks like English upside down.
It almost looks like it would describe a really tasty pastry.
Maybe that's possible. That's possible.
Yeah.
So, go to the next one. We have. Roses and mixed bouquets. Bokays.
I give him credit.
Good for trying, right?
You know what I like about it is the roses and mixed and the ampersand are all centered. I like that. He spelt it wrong, but he couldn't really fit bouquet with
I think it was a space
on that space issue. Yeah, not on that particular board or whatever that is. With that size font.
Why is the S in orange and all the other letters are?
He ran out of red.
To let you know that it's multiple.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. That's possible. Next one would be this right here. These are they're expensive, but you have silly beep, pepper beep, garlic beep, ginger beep, silly chicken, pepper chicken. Ginger chicken and garlic chicken.
My favorite beep was always ginger.
Ginger was a good beep. I
like skanky beep too and sporty beep, but ginger beep was always my favorite.
I got you.
Yeah,
exactly. I went too far back. You said ginger. I thought you were going to talk about Gilligan's Island, but
no.
To me, the real question is what is beep?
What is beep?
I mean, obviously it's chili, pepper, garlic, ginger. And then they were like, well, we think we got chili right. Pepper doesn't look right, so let's change the E to an R.
I think beep is beef.
Ginger, they got right. Beef, I guess.
Beef is beef.
Yeah, beef. Yeah, beef.
I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then they knew that garlic, well, they actually got worse on garlic. They went with the C.
The C. The second somebody told them the C was wrong. They had to change it. They changed the wrong C, and they made it a K.
Yep. Yeah,
garlic is when you mix George Carlin and garlic.
Right.
So it's garlic beef, but with a very witty 20-minute diatribe.
There you go. or sports ballparks.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So there you go.
Tie it all together.
Tie it all together. Exactly. Then the next one we have, obviously, two different bathrooms. We have Fee-Man and Mailman.
Well, yeah. I mean, welcome to the world today.
Listen, this is an attempt at diversity that didn't translate properly.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't there what did they say? 67 genders now or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. Something like that.
Fee-Man and Mailman.
I love Fee-Man. I love Fee-Man.
What would have been funnier is if you had Fee-Man, right, and then Mailman, there was a picture of like Newman in the or John Ratzenberger.
I knew there was a dad joke somewhere in there.
Well, it wasn't a dad joke, really. I was just talking.
No, it was an old dad joke.
All right, fine. Was there a new Mailman on a TV show now?
They don't have TV shows anymore.
Oh, that's true. It's just on Netflix now. There you go. We got a couple of. I'll get to them in a minute. Dave, you can wait. I'll put it right back up. Actually,
Fee-Man.
Dave Samurai says waiting, and then he says he's right. I'm not sure what that meant. Thai, that's the language it is what he's saying, I'm assuming. Okay. And he said, where's Roadrunner beep?
There you go. That's called chicken.
There we go.
Chicken.
That's called garlic.
Garlic beep. Yes.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And then the last one tonight would be this right here. We want you to grow with us. Now hiring meat.
Yeah, I mean, from their lips,
Mm-hmm.
I got a Valentine's. I got a Valentine's card once that said this, and
now hiring meat.
Let's decipher this. All right, the name of the place is Schnucks.
Schnucks, yeah. Schnucks.com.
I think this is doctored. I don't think this is real. Somebody
like, is this a grocery store? And they're hiring people for the meat department?
Maybe.
Or like what else? Like what is that?
Let's find
mascot there, logo. What is that? What does that signify? Kind of looks like a British soldier, right?
Schnucks.com.
Very confusing what this is.
It
could be like a strip club, and they're hiring.
This is.
They need more dancers for.
There's no Schnucks. It's a Don't Google it. Don't put it in your thing. It's a security risk.
Whatever you do, Schnucks.com, and the screen just goes blank.
No, that's not a security risk. Schnucks is a mom and pop. There's Celebrate Mom with Surf and Turf. It's a grocery store. It's a Celebrate Mom with Surf and Turf. There you go. Order your floral delivery. Buy 5, get $5 or more in Schnucks rewards. So you can get cereal, Cheerios, pepperoni.
I think it's a sex club. I think it's a sex club.
Sex club that
Celebrate Mom with Surf and Turf.
They're in Missouri. They're in Missouri. So.
Missouri. All right, there you go. They're in Missouri.
And there's some Schnucks rewards.
Some of them have a CVS inside of them.
I think if you're a swinger, you want to go to.
Schnucks.
I think you want to go to Schmucks.
Schnucks is where your meat grows. There you go. And we want your meat to grow with us. There you go.
Who doesn't?
Well, I think we all feel the same.
It's grown. About that. That's
Celebrate Mom with your growing meat. There you go.
That's all there is. It's fully grown. Sorry.
Fully grown. There you go. We want you to grow with us. All right, there you go. That was even better than the now hiring meat part. There you go. So anyway.
Memes, ladies and gentlemen.
Memes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's
remember when you had class rings and one of the I don't know why they made you could get a career put on your high school class ring, but you could get meat distributor.
You could.
Which for you, John,
I almost did. Actually,
you were almost a meat distributor.
Well, I was.
You were the son of a meat distributor,
right? And I was for a while, but then I kind of like.
And your dad wanted to see the meat grow, but you said, "Nope, I'm not growing it. I'm not growing the meat."
It's time for some marketing instead.
That's right. I'm going to
which turned into beer. But
I'm going to talk about the bouquet of a vanilla porter IPA.
Exactly.
Instead.
Oh, it's better. Hey, the bologna was good in the day. That's all I have to say.
That's when it grew.
Hey, fried bologna sandwiches at 2 a.m. What's better than that, Harry?
Back when it grew.
Yeah. All right. How good were they?
They were very good.
They were good.
All right. Yeah. What's next?
All right. So on that note, let's switch the background. We're leaving hockey up because we're going to finish on that. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about our picks really quick. Just a quick recap of our.
I forgot who I picked.
I have them all listed. There was a draft.
Is it over yet? The draft? Is it still going on?
No, it's still
half a round. It finishes at midnight tonight.
It does finish at midnight tonight. It's the 37th round.
That's right. Backup snappers.
Exactly.
By the way, backup snapper. Don't Google that either.
Don't Google backup snapper. You don't want to do that. So, all right. So let's pull up what we did here. Okay. So our picks. These were our picks. Just got to save that. Here we go. So Harry, let me go here. Harry had picked Caleb Williams. All three of us picked Caleb Williams to go first.
Everybody on the planet picked Caleb Williams to go first.
I picked Harry picked Drake May to go second. Myself and Pete picked Jaden Daniels to go second. Jaden Daniels went second. Harry picked Jaden Daniels to go third. He went second. RadioPete picked JJ McCarthy to go third. I picked Drake May. Drake May went third. all three of us picked Marvin Harrison Jr. to go fourth. He did.
Nice.
Harry picked Olumuwasha Fashanu.
I picked the wrong tackle.
You picked the wrong tackle to go fifth. Myself, Pete, you picked Joel to go fifth. I did not. I picked JJ McCarthy. I thought the Chargers were going to pull a cutie with them, and so you were right on that one. All three of us picked Malik Neighbors to go sixth, and he did, to the Giants.
Yay!
I picked myself and Harry picked Joel to go seventh. He was gone already. Pete picked J.C. Latham to go seventh, and he did. There you go. None of us picked Michael Penix Jr. to go eighth.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody that did mock drafts, I don't even think one of the 30 different mock drafts that Mel Kiper did had Michael Penix Jr. going eighth.
To a team that just signed a veteran quarterback to a huge
$140 million contract.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, which we got the three of us picked Dallas Turner to go eighth, to be exact. So, Harry, no, I'm sorry, Pete, you picked Latu to go eighth.
Oh yeah.
You did, and he went 15th. Harry and I picked Dallas Turner. Ninth.
Yeah, he went 17th. That was a bit of a surprise.
Dallas Turner,
yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Harry, you picked Rome Odunze. So did I, to go ninth. And Pete, you picked Dallas Turner. Rome Odunze did go ninth. Yep. And then Harry and I had Brock Bowers going to the Jets, and you wanted a offensive tackle. And you got you got your offensive tackle, but not at 10th. JJ McCarthy went 10th. Yeah, 10th. JJ McCarthy went 10th. So if you look at it like that, you got your Harry got his 5th pick, went 10th to the Jets. So there you go. But Pete, you did indeed get your OT for 10th.
So who had the most players out of the first 10?
So Harry, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 correct.
Well, but how many of mine went in the first 10 picks?
You had four. You had 4 correct in the first 10, and you had 1.
Well, I'm not saying in the exact order. I'm just.
Well, you had 4 correct in the exact order.
Okay. How many of mine went in the top 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's not bad.
4 correct, 7. 4 the exact order, 7 correct.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Pete, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 correct. Same thing. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the correct order.
Wow. Pete wins.
And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 in the correct order. I'm sorry. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the correct order. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 overall.
Well, Johnny wins.
There you go.
Johnny wins.
So 4 and 7 for Harry, 5 and 7 for Pete, 6 and 8 for me. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. So, well, that nothing will supersede the beaten by the coin winner of this year, though. So that's much better than because that goes on for weeks. All right, this was just
sure does, and then it gets really weird during the end of this year. I'm up by 27, and all of a sudden I'm tied.
Just wait till next year. You're gonna love the new format.
Another new format.
Love the new format.
Oh God!
There you go.
All right. So, quick takeaways from the NFL draft. John, what do you think?
I think the Atlanta Falcons are morons. If you're going to draft a quarterback, you don't pay another quarterback before you draft it. If you're going to pay another quarterback, you don't draft a quarterback with especially the 8th pick overall. That doesn't happen. That's stupid. Other than that, I thought it was pretty. I mean, maybe a couple of the players moved around, but position-wise, it was pretty much expected. overall,
it wasn't overly crazy.
Yeah, other than the Jets trading with the Vikings so that they could get their quarterback, which, as it turns out, I mean, that was a shrewd move by the Jets, but the Jets weren't picking a quarterback, and the Vikings actually should have known that, and they should have just stayed pat, and they still would have had JJ McCarthy at 11. So, but good move by the Jets to pick up a couple of draft picks, and yeah, there you go. That's my take.
Yeah.
Pete?
Jets and Giants both got really good players. Jets got some help on the offensive line they needed. Malik Neighbors is a monster, in my opinion. And
I think he's better than Marvin Harrison Jr. Personally, I do. I think he was the best receiver in the draft. I do.
Don't be a head case.
And,
well,
look, and
see if we can get 2 years out of him.
As far as I heard this the other day, and I can't believe I never thought of it, but somebody called them the Can't-Lanta Falcons.
There you go.
Which I never thought of, and I think it seems really appropriate. They're just terrible.
Yeah.
They just have no clue about what's going on. Now, I could see, the only thing I could see, if you really love Michael Penix Jr. and you think he's the guy of the future, and you're thinking, well, we're going to need half a season or so. He can watch Kirk Cousins play, and somebody's going to need a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see what help we need, and maybe we're going to trade Kirk Cousins for whatever.
Or trade Penix.
It could trade Penix too, but it's such a risk. That's a really dumb plan, but it's the only way I could think of. Why would they do this?
Yeah, and
unless they're thinking Penix is going to sit for 3 years,
but he's not. But he's not a 21-year-old quarterback that has promise.
No, that's the thing.
For 3 years.
Nobody really expects Cousins to play 4 more years. I don't think.
No, but I mean, they might be sick of him in 2, and then
they can trade him, and they have Penix.
They can trade him, and they have Penix, and they can spend the next couple of drafts building around him. So if they think he's really going to be the guy.
Here's my argument against, though I think it was dumb. It's like, you got him on a rookie deal. He's cheaper than a backup quarterback. And if he develops into what people think he'll be, you got your next quarterback. So you got your current quarterback and your next quarterback. So I understand draft capital. I get all that. But I kind of wish the Giants did this, to be honest with you.
Well,
not necessarily with Penix, but we'll see. It might work out. You don't know. I mean, Atlanta has a lot of holes to fill. So it wasn't like they were a team that had a trade draft that was high and they just needed to, they have a lot of holes to fill. Right. I think the Bears had a great draft, but I think you're going to see a very different Chicago Bears team.
You're going to see a very different,
stacked on offense.
Totally stacked.
Yeah.
And their defense was good. I mean, their defense was not a slouch by any means.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of people are down on Bo Nix, but I think when it's all said and done, Bo Nix is going to go down as the steal of the draft. I think Sean Payton was smart in going out and getting him. So we shall see. I don't think the Giants were horrible. I think they're middle of the pack as far as their draft goes. I think the Commanders, the Bears, I think a lot of teams did really well. And we'll see. There's a lot of young quarterbacks in this draft. There's a lot of, supposedly big name players. Not a lot of defensive picks in the top, which, and not as many offensive linemen as you would expect from years past.
No.
But we shall see. We shall see. I think we're going to get to see a couple of these guys right out of the gate.
Definitely going to. And the fact that, and let's talk about that really quick. This draft was obviously, and anybody listening to this, if they paid attention, they know this already. But there were 6 quarterbacks taken in the top 12 picks.
All right. When was the last time that happened?
Never.
Yeah.
It's never happened before.
Exactly.
It's never happened before. And I just want to bring this up. Just today or yesterday or today. I think it was today. CBS Sports put out their quarterback power rankings. All right, for this year for each team, the starting quarterback, a projected starting quarterback for each team. These are the power rankings, and I'll go through them. I'm going to start with 11, okay? Because there's a reason I'm going to start with 11. No, I'm like the top 10 are the top 10. We know who they are, right? We know Joe Burrow. We know Obviously
Got a guy named Patty
Mahomes and all those guys. Right. I'm going to start with 11. And the reason I'm going to start with 11 is because Aaron Rodgers is at 11.
Okay.
Now, and you got Tua at 12.
Is Dak in the top 10?
Dak's in the top 12. Top 10. Yes. Dak's in the top 10. Mahomes is in the top 10. Burrow's in the top 10.
I mean, the obvious
Allen's in the top 10. The top 10's the top 10. Right?
I don't think Dak's an obvious top 10, but okay.
No, I'm saying the obvious, whether he is or he isn't, he's obviously going to be put in the top 10.
Just Kirk Cousins in the top 10?
Kirk Cousins is in the top 10. Kirk Cousins is not in the top 10. No.
Okay.
No, he's not.
All right.
So you got Aaron Rodgers to 11, Tua 12, Goff 13, Cousins 14, Trevor Lawrence 15, Matthew Stafford 16, Deshaun Watson 17, Geno Smith is 18, Russell Wilson's 19 on Pittsburgh, Baker Mayfield 20, Kyler Murray 21, Will Levis, second-year quarterback 22, which means, looking at this too, C.J. Stroud's in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right. I just don't have it up in front of me right now, so it's not important anyway. Where I'm going with this, Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams is 23. Okay, 4 of the 6 quarterbacks that were taken in the first round, in the top 12, 4 of them are in the
last 10, in the bottom 10,
the bottom 10, but they're listed. But I'm going somewhere with this. Caleb Williams 23, Anthony Richardson 24, J.J. McCarthy 25, Derek Carr 26, Jacoby Brissett. They're obviously not. They're not talking about Drake May either because Jacoby Brissett is starting for the Patriots. 27, Jaden Daniels 28, Gardner Minshew 29, Bo Nix 30, Bryce Young 31, and who is the lowest rated quarterback in the entire NFL?
The worst fucking draft pick in the history of the New York Giants. Yeah, Daniel fucking Jones.
It would be Daniel Jones. Yes,
yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Whose ranking is this?
CBS Sports.
People with eyes, people with sight.
I think I'm gonna cancel my subscription to them.
Well,
that's ridiculous. I mean, there's a point there, and I understand it, but that's.
Ridiculous. I get the point, but you're telling me that 4 rookie quarterbacks are better than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and they haven't played it down yet.
And they haven't played it down yet. Now, I'm not saying that I disagree with it, and they probably will eventually become better than him, right? Right. But as drafts have shown, like 83 quarterbacks, the 1983 draft for quarterbacks was amazing. The 2004 draft for quarterbacks was amazing. All right. The draft that we had a couple of years ago with these quarterbacks, there's only Trevor Lawrence is the only one still playing on his team. Yeah. Right.
Well, the year before that, you had Burrow and Allen. Were they?
No. I just mean multiple quarterbacks. Yeah. Now, Burrow and Allen were different years.
No, it's ridiculous to rank them ahead of anyone who's currently.
Josh Allen's the only one still playing on his team from 2018. Yeah. So, but my point. But yes, to your point, Pete. Exactly. Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, and Bo Nix. Not one of them has taken a snap in the NFL yet, and they're all ranked well above Daniel Jones.
Yeah. And a couple other quarterbacks too.
And
hold on. Here's my point, though. Here's my point.
It's not about news, though. It's about clicks.
Well, here's the thing.
About hot takes and clicks.
When Ernie Grunfeld was the starting, 2 guard for the New York Knicks, and they drafted
half of our Twitch audience just went dark,
and they drafted some guards in the NBA draft. Most of those rookie guards would be ranked way higher than him.
No, I get it. I get it. I do get the where the rankings fall into play based on that. But to Pete's point, they haven't taken an NFL snap yet. Now they could take that first NFL snap, and you could say, "Holy shit!" Right? And rightfully so, and it probably will happen. But until that happens, how can you rank them above somebody that's been in the NFL for 5 years?
Well, I only played 2, but yeah.
Well, I'm not even talking about just Daniel Jones.
How are the power rankings calculated anyway?
I don't even know. It just says power rankings. They don't give the reason for the stats and the
another fine piece of journalism by CBS Sports.
I'm sure this was this is according to Cody Benjamin.
Okay,
right. So,
well,
by the way, probably has
happened in his life.
I believe he's the Dallas fan that has Dak ranked first.
Dak's ranked third.
Here's the thing, Giants.
Just look at the numbers.
Block and fucking tackle. And Daniel Jones, don't be the guy who holds the ball the longest in the NFL. Get rid of it. Just fucking get rid of it. throw it towards one of these really fast, tall receivers that you have.
Here's my thing.
Just fucking get rid of it.
I'm not gonna stick up for Daniel Jones here, and I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go back and forth with that. To a point, he did do that 2 years ago when they went to the second round, when they went to the divisional playoffs, and they beat Minnesota.
That's the worst thing that's happened to the Giants is that fucking team winning a game against the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
It's the worst thing that happened.
So that being said, though, here's the thing: he has the ability to not hold on to the ball. He has the ability to throw the ball, and he can throw a deep pass with accuracy. So my point is he the quarterback of the future? Probably not. All right, probably not. But
all right.
You got to pay him this year anyway. See what happens.
I've heard it.
That's all I'm saying.
Cares?
Well, we're going to find out, right?
Let's not get in the weeds about the Giants quarterback at this point.
I just thought
I think we've spent far too much time on the NFL.
Anyway.
And we've got a whole "Are they for real?" about the NFL too.
So, all right, so let's
go
move
into
on.
that.
Should we go straight to that?
Let's do that.
Let's
change it up.
Only because I think the "Are They for Real" music is always buried too late in the show. So
all right.
I think we should start with "Are They for Real."
Let's do it right.
This is the theme that should be heard.
Right now. Here we go.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
Are you for real? For real? For real? For real?
Are they for real?
What is real?
All right, are they for real? Yeah, you know what? It's kind of a post-draft edition. We got 3 situations for you. First up, and in this case, as we know on this show, being for real can mean a lot of different things. But in this case, it means
they're real.
Well, you gotta pick who's going to be playing, who's going to be starting, or whatever.
Sure.
So, who's more for real as the post-trade deadline starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons this season? Kirk Cousins or Michael Penix Jr.? Who's going to be the starter after the trade deadline?
Kirk Cousins.
Penix? Not in the mix, unless Cousins gets hurt.
Yeah,
barring injury. We're taking injury out of the...
Barring injury, Kirk Cousins will be the starting quarterback week 1 for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I think he will too. All right, next up, general question. Who is more for real for the 2024-25 season? The Chicago Bears or the New York Football Giants?
That's tough.
The Bears.
It is tough.
Yeah, I want to say the Bears, but...
Bears had a really good draft.
The Bears had a really good draft, and they picked up a couple of good picks in the free agency.
Giants got a game breaker, though. I think Neighbors
Giants got a game breaker,
a game changer,
and the defense even improved.
So much better.
I mean, the Giants' defense is better than Chicago's defense.
Oh,
it depends on what. It depends on almost better. The Giants' defense is better than Chicago's defense. I'm sorry, Chicago's defense is good. The Giants' defense is very good.
Yeah, they're going to win 6 games this year.
Well, that's not because of the defense. Okay. But
we don't win 4 of them because of the defense.
It depends on it.
Malik Neighbors is going to be wide open while Daniel Jones is chasing the ball that fell out of his hand behind the line.
They're going to win 4 because of the defense.
This
1
literally comes down to Daniel Jones. Okay, that really is what it is. And if they pull him out, then we'll see what Drew Lock has to, can he not screw it up? Or Tommy Cutlets, right?
All right, so who's more for real, John?
All right, I got to watch Drew Lock live. You don't want...
I got to say...
There's only one quarterback worse than Daniel Jones, and it's Drew Lock.
I got to say signs point to Chicago, but I reserve the right to change the opinion during training camp, not even the beginning of the season, during training camp.
There we go. Well, I'm not keeping track of anything, so...
Fair enough.
Unless you bring it up, no one's going to remember it.
Fair enough.
I'm not a
All right. Last one here. Which of the New York Jets' 5th round draft picks is the most for real? That is to say, I guess we'll have the most impact for the Jets this season. At number 171 was Jordan Travis, I fucked up my ankle, quarterback from Florida State, who is 10-0 and blah, blah, blah. We know all the rest. Number 173, Isaiah Davis, running back out of South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
Or at number 176, and I think I texted you guys, a Key and Peele name, Quantez Stiggers. Cornerback, not from college, played 1 year for the Argonauts in the CFL. No college experience.
So they drafted
Who's
two
gonna have
quarterbacks in the
Cornerback.
Cornerback, sorry. So who's going to have the most impact?
the running back.
Travis, the running back, Davis, or Quantez Stiggers?
Quantez Stiggers, name alone.
Yeah, I hope it's Stiggers.
Quantez Stiggers, name alone. You know why? And I'll tell you why. Because he's going to play more as a cornerback. You're going to see him in more games. Running backs, they're going to switch them out, and they have Bryce Young is just too good for the other guy to get to get too much playing time. And the quarterback, obviously, unless Aaron Rodgers goes down on play 4 again.
Well, he's going to be the third stringer. Yeah.
And he's going to be the third stringer behind Tyrod Taylor. So yeah, I'm going with Quantez Stiggers.
Although if his leg is good, Travis might move up to number 2.
You never know.
He might move up to number 2. All right, so we agree Stiggers. I think it'd be probably
sure.
Stiggers.
Let's go with.
He's a bit of a project.
Mm-hmm.
But
and that's what you want in a rookie cornerback is a project.
Well, listen, I don't remember. Was it the Jets or what was the team that had all the cornerbacks go down? I know the Jets had all their offensive linemen went down.
I don't know.
Somebody in the NFL had like 4 cornerbacks that went out.
Well, every time the Giants have a good one, they leave.
Yeah,
or they
You're right.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
All right, so we think Stiggers. Harry's got the Bears. John is gonna change his.
I say the Bears now. Bears now, but I want to see Daniel Jones in training camp.
I hope the Giants and Bears play this year.
And we all think that Kirk Cousins is going to be the post-trade deadline starter.
100%.
All right. And that is, are they for real? Post NFL draft edition.
Post NFL draft edition.
Are they for real?
It was good. I like doing that there.
Very good. Improvement.
Done.
Yes. Well, unless it's usually they have a theme.
Can we do? Can we go right into what do we call it when you get over under?
Right into the over under and all right.
Over
see
under.
Ya. Yeah, nice. See ya. That's how we do it, right? Over unders is nice.
Post draft, sure.
There you go. Gotta love it. All right,
good stuff.
All right, so let's kick off NBA. I put baseball up there. NBA. There we go. We're not talking baseball tonight. Teams are playing sports as far as baseball goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could talk about a lot of stuff, but we'll save that for another.
It's
more important to talk. We're not talking baseball, so let's get to basketball. A lot of good things going on right now. Let's kick it off with the NBA question of the week.
Wow.
Ooh,
NBA question of the week. NBA question of the week. Here
we had one of these.
The answer is Rory Sparrow.
100%. No, it's actually Precious Achua.
It's Trent Tucker.
Trent Tucker.
Rory
Sparrow's backcourt mate back in the day. All right. What's the question?
All right. The question is, we're going to start with Pete on this one. Which two teams will be in the Eastern Conference Finals? Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Any day.
I'll say
the Wizards and the
Argonauts.
And the New York Jets
and the Heat.
I'll say you know what? I think it's going to be Boston and the Knicks.
There you go. Knicks and Boston. Knicks, Celtics. All right, Harry, same
Cleveland's not quite good enough, and the Pacers are not.
Yeah, I mean, the East is just not that good. And I'll go with the Knicks. Why not?
Knicks and Celtics.
It's Boston. Yeah. Cleveland's
not going to be Indiana and Cleveland. It's not.
No, I don't think Cleveland wins a game.
All right.
And I think the Knicks and Indiana. I think Indiana is a good team, but they're kind of they need another year. I think the Knicks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not ready.
I think if Indiana decides to double Brunson and get the ball out of his hands, they might be able to win a couple games. But,
I think this goes to a gentleman's sweep. I think
Indiana
wins. I think Indiana wins. I think Indiana wins one of their games, one of the two games, game 3 or 4 in Indiana.
I think it's going to go 6 or 7. The next Indiana series.
I would be a little surprised if it went more than 5.
I'm
not really surprised.
Yeah.
But I would be pretty surprised.
I think the Knicks
7.
And Boston will probably shit the bed one game, so that'll probably be a gentleman's sweep too, even though it should not be even close.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And if you're playing along at home, I agree with both of them as well. All right. Same question. We'll start with Harry this time. Who's in the Western Conference Finals?
That's going to be the 2 best teams in the West, which is OKC and Minnesota.
There you go. All right. So you get the Thunder and the Wolves. Pete, same question.
Yeah, I'm really I guess it's a little I still have a little bit of my love for Kyrie Irving. I would really love to see the Dallas Mavericks move on, but I don't think they're good enough. No. And so yeah, I have to agree. I think that the Timberwolves are the best team in the West, and they were assembled, I think, specifically to beat the Denver Nuggets.
Oh, they certainly looked great in game 2. Game 1 was close. The game before that, the Nuggets beat them in a must-win end of the season game.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets are hurt. The Nuggets are hurt, and they look tired. And it's just hard to repeat. And they're not deep.
Murray apparently is not 100%, and he has just looked off.
And their bench,
they have looked off.
They've looked awful, and their bench is just not what it was last. And the Timberwolves are a horrible matchup for them. A horrible matchup. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anybody beating Minnesota. I think they win the NBA championship this year. I really do.
Yeah, that's so. All right.
Well, now listen. Here's the thing. Who was we do have the NBA awards. Who was the executive of the year was Brad Stevens of the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I might have gone with Tim Connolly.
Yeah, absolutely. Or
the Timberwolves.
Or whoever's OKC's, or even though they've fallen back, look what the Nuggets have done is amazing. They have 6 guys.
Right. But Connolly was the head of operations for Denver.
Right.
All right. And then he left there and he went to Minnesota and he put together you're right. Game 1 was close. Game 2, that defense was.
Yeah. Not only did they put together a team, they put together a team that nobody thought made any sense. Yep. And they played their best defensive game of the season, and maybe the best defensive game I've seen since the 98 Bulls, without the defensive player of the year on the court.
Right.
So there you go.
So who do you think, Pete? Who's in the Western Conference Finals?
So it's going to be I think it's going to be Minnesota and OKC. I'm really pulling for Dallas, but I don't.
Look, don't underestimate OKC. I've said this all year long. This is a good team.
Yeah, I think they're going to win.
Look, and I hope for the Nuggets' sake, they find themselves a little bit and make this a series, because if they get swept, this is the demise of the Denver Nuggets. If they get swept, we've got Houston. We have a problem. We got a big problem.
All right, we got a couple comments on that.
I don't think they'll get swept, but
I don't know. If game 2 is any indicator, not only are they going to get swept, they're going to get their fucking asses handed to them in historic fashion. So wake the fuck up.
Yeah,
wake the fuck up.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to just
play some defense.
It sounds so simplistic, but they're going to have to just play better. They have to do what they do a little bit better.
Be best.
Considerably better than they did in game 2. But
they're going to have to play physical.
Dave Scott says Madison Square Garden will be quite busy this month.
Well, yeah, I mean it's back to it's back to the 90s with the Rangers and the Nets. I mean, of course, the Rangers have been there quite often, And the Rangers look good, by the way. They're winning close games in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
But
we'll talk more about that.
You haven't seen this kind of excitement, and by the way, Matthew Modine has been sleeping under the bleachers of MSG since the '99 NBA Finals, and they just and Ben Stiller found him, and so yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, you gotta love it. We got Rod J. Beer Adventures. Just a quick thing on beer. He said, "Cheers, guys! Back in Garden State tomorrow. Save some Heady Topper and Focal Banger waiting on me." But he said, as far as sports goes, he says Murray should have been suspended for throwing that heat pack on the floor.
Yeah, whatever.
And
well, it's a towel. Yeah, there was a towel and there was a heat pack there.
Right, and he said Minnesota and Boston, although Minnesota and OKC may be a great one to watch. So he's picking the finals. Okay, so if that's the case,
well, it can't be Minnesota.
Well, it can't be Minnesota OKC.
Yeah.
So, but on that note, we'll switch that. What are your thoughts on? Okay, so if we're all in agreement that it's Knicks, Celtics, and OKC, Minnesota, who's in the finals?
I think it's Boston, Minnesota. Although I'd love for it to be the Knicks. And obviously, I just look Boston. Boston is just
Tatum's not playing the way Tatum plays, though.
But they dismantled. They won so easily against Cleveland the other day, and the thing I think Boston gets through the East. The thing that's going to kill Boston in whoever they play in the West is if Porzingis is out. If Porzingis is out, Boston's going to get destroyed. They're going to get destroyed. They don't have anybody to match up with the bigs in the West.
Right. So
whether it's Minnesota, whether it's OKC, whether it's Denver, they don't match up well.
So what we need to do is we need to figure out if and we'll talk more about the Rangers in a minute, but we need to figure out how we get Trouba to take out Porzingis in Madison Square Garden.
Porzingis might not play. He's out.
Well, then he has time.
There you go. Yeah,
a little, what's her name? The little Nancy Kerrigan action. Pipe to the knee.
I mean, Trouba's. He's the enforcer, right? So he's going to get penalties in the Rangers. But we'll talk about the Rangers in a minute. But anyway,
yeah, I don't know if the Knicks can get to the NBA Finals without Randall, without Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson out.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson,
he's
out. He's done. I get it. But at 6 to 8 weeks, he's going to be reevaluated. Obviously, he's done. But here's my thing: he's a role player.
Well,
iHeart is playing.
Right. But if you look at the combined stats of Robinson and Hartenstein, that's where the Knicks have some dominance. So now that second team is going to be a lot more vulnerable, especially against the team. Like Indiana with Miles Turner and bigs. I don't think the bigs of Indiana played their best game the other night. The Knicks won at home like they should have. If they split at MSG, this is a 6 or 7 game series.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. And on that note,
it's as great as Jalen Brunson has played. It's tough to put up 35 or 40 every night. Yeah. And if that's what is what the Knicks need to get these wins, or at least to put themselves in a position to win, eventually somebody's going to figure out how to, you know what I mean?
I get it.
The Knicks need to move.
They're going to start double teaming him. They're going to force
the
the
Knicks
ball out
need
of
to
his
move
hands.
the ball more, and they need to distribute more, and it has to be less ISO. Brunson's great in ISO, but the game they lost, a couple of the games that they lost to the Sixers, it was him at the end of the game trying to dribble in the lane against, and Indiana's defense is good. So
but that's right. That's exactly what he did.
I just think that the inexperience
for
of
the
Pacers,
fourth quarter
though.
of Game 1,
right.
And it worked. But
it worked.
Man, you can't get that out of somebody night after night after night. Although he's done it whatever.
It doesn't look like. I mean,
5 games, but
Josh Hart. I mean, how night after night after night with Josh Hart too, right? I mean,
and the Hart, but Hart's not the best shooter in the world. He's missed.
Well, that's my point, though.
Right.
He's
great defensive player, rebounds way above his physical skills.
Yeah.
The Knicks need to play as a team.
Either one of those guys has
and DiVincenzo has to become a threat so that they can't completely collapse on Brunson. So when he goes in there, he has to get it out to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo has to sort of regain that his shooting but look, the Knicks are playing good defense.
They are.
And as long as they play good defense,
still think they're going to win.
Okay. I still think they're a little thin on the
I
bench.
think too. Rod J. Beer Ventures said, will be tough for Knicks, although proud of his WVU alum McBride showing out. And then he said, they will need Brunson to put up the points and the others will have to step up. Well, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. That's just the thing, though. I mean, the points that Brunson's putting up, I mean, he's in elite company right now in the last 6 games, right?
Right.
It's stupid what he's doing. Knock on wood, it continues, right?
Do you want to know who this Knicks team reminds me of?
Go ahead.
Allen Iverson led Sixers. That's who this Knicks team reminds me of. And he was able to take them to the finals and win a game or two against the Lakers, but it all hinged on, you knew what he was going to do. It all hinged on whether or not, somebody else stepped up. But that's who this team reminds me of. It reminds me of, when Iverson was that's what Brunson reminds me of to some degree.
Fair enough. Now, question for you on that. Speaking of Mitchell Robinson, going back to that injury, do you blame Joel Embiid?
I thought it was dirty.
It was 100% dirty.
And I thought he should have been
dirty.
suspended, and maybe and I think he should have been suspended for more than one game. I mean, that's way more of an impact than a fucking heat pack.
Right.
So I thought it was horrible. Joel Embiid, by the way, is there a weirder? I mean, Joel Embiid makes James Harden seem normal. He's a weird motherfucker.
He is
His actions are bizarre.
Yeah.
He's
Just
an odd duck
bizarre.
for sure.
Very odd.
And
The thing about him though is he's in some ways he's very likable.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Right. Number one, he's phenomenal talent. Number two, he's funny most of the time and outgoing, during press conferences and all those, questions that reporters yell at him. He's good with an answer. He's engaging.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to yap all the time, which some people love and some people don't love. Now, I heard this last week, and I'm going to go ahead. I didn't bother to check it because why would I? But it was from a reputable source.
Who cares?
And it was
CBS.
well, it was
exactly.
I think it was on PTI.
It was from Frank the Tank on Barstool.
Frank the Tank on Barstools did it. Yeah.
It was it was on PTI, I think, and they said that Embiid has like the most flagrant 2 fouls. The one where they go like, oh, somebody might have gotten hurt or there was intent to injure or whatever. Like in the last 3 or 4 years or whatever, the most out of anyone in the league. The most, like more than Draymond.
That's all because Draymond was suspended for a long period of time.
Well,
that had a little to do with it.
But Embiid was out for long durations too, so that's
right. So he has less games, but more of those fouls
per game. Crazy.
Yeah, there's no question that he is a dirty player.
Oh, he's definitely. And then Roger said, "Did you see that people in France are pissed that Embiid is playing for Team USA in the Olympics?"
Well, yeah. I mean, I would be too.
As a person from the U.S., I'm pissed that Embiid is playing in the U.S.
Exactly. That's what I meant.
Have him,
man.
Here.
I'm livid.
Take him.
Yeah.
Take him.
That's right. Because Evan Fournier is going to be all alone now. So I don't know why I don't know why he gets away with it. I really don't know why he gets away with it. And
because he's Joel Embiid, that's why.
Yeah, and boy, the league loves
talent.
him.
Talent is king.
Loves him.
Talent is king.
Well, but he also gets a lot of calls. I mean, he had more free throws than Jokic this year, and he played in like half the amount of games.
Yeah,
he had more. So it's just it's crazy. I like him. He's a great talent, but boy, he's everything. I feel like that's. Be a true big man. And by the way, somebody on the Knicks should have fucking went up to him and knocked his fucking teeth out in the first, that's why, I kind of joked the Knicks signed Charles Oakley to a 1-game contract. He's going to start and cover Embiid.
just to cover Embiid, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 6 fouls in 6 minutes, and
I was just saying,
He's
all he
out,
needs is
he's
5
done, right?
minutes.
Just needs
He
5
only needs
minutes.
just 5 minutes, and one of them is leaving the game. Either Oakley will foul out or Embiid will get carried out.
Flagrant, get him out of there. Who cares? It's done, right?
You call
The deed
that a
is done.
flagrant foul? This is a flagrant foul.
I mean, if he did that to Patrick Ewing would have got up and would have taken him a few minutes. He would have adjusted his knee pads and beat the piss out of him, or he would have had Oakley and Mason do it.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah.
And
Well,
Rod
he's
says
not playing
NBA
anymore,
has.
so
Rod says NBA has
yeah,
favorites.
they
Without a doubt.
do.
And Embiid is one of them. And we saw this. Obviously, all of the NBA's favorites are funneled through the mouthpieces of ESPN, which I can't even watch anymore. Yeah. But no, I think this has been an interesting playoffs. And look, maybe I'm overreacting because I saw it and it hurt to watch this Minnesota team. I don't think anybody's beating them. If they play like that,
they are really good.
Nobody's beating them.
They are really.
They're on a heater. They may be the Nuggets from last. They may only lose 1 or 2 playoff games.
And A-Rod gets another ring.
Well, yeah.
And by the way,
let's test Anthony Edwards. That's for sure.
All right. Well, let me.
That guy is a machine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's built like Saquon Barkley, but 6'4". Just crazy.
Let me ask you guys this: who's going to be the MVP?
It's Jokic. He won it today.
Oh, he did. Oh, they announced it already. I didn't realize they announced it. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
Can't argue with that. Oh, by the way, defensive
they gave it
player
to
of
him
the year.
because they're not. Yeah. I mean,
they gave it to Rudy.
I don't think. And by the way, hold that point. Hold that point.
Right,
1 second, Pete. I was just on Joker. To your point, Harry, I don't think Minnesota's sweeping Denver. I
think Jokic's got to come out and play pissed.
I think they're going to win a game or two.
Not passing the ball.
You're right. Minnesota's unbeatable. I really think they are. I think they're probably going to win the whole thing this year. Knicks, Celtics, it doesn't matter. I think Minnesota. It's Minnesota's year, but I don't think they're going. I don't think Denver's going down easily. I think they're winning. They're winning at least a game, if not.
Hey NBA. Mm-hmm. He's a 3-time MVP. Mm-hmm. He literally is bleeding every game from people hacking at his arms.
Right.
Send him to the free throw line more than twice a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he is apparently not one of the NBA favorites.
He's not one of the.
Come on.
Yeah.
No,
give me a break.
Yeah. And Rod says Edwards is in beast mode. Yeah, he certainly is.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. You're not going to stop Edwards. Not the Nuggets. Look, I've said this all along. Jamal Murray, bless him. He had a great bubble. He had a great year in the playoffs last year. He came up big. This year he comes out of the gate horrible. And he had some big moments against the Lakers. I get it, but he's got to find his stroke. And people like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. and Braun and everybody else, you got to play aggressive. And we're probably going to be without Reggie Jackson, KCP. All you have to do is make Edwards work for those 30 points he's going to get. Make him work for him. Yeah. And we'll see. But man, it's just a bad matchup because they have really great defenders. They have a lot of length. And what they're doing is they're forcing the Nuggets they're in their face. They're in their grill. They're in their passing lanes. And they've taken away 2 things. They've been able to take away the pick and roll with Murray and Jokic. And they've been able to take away the baseline plays that no one else has been able to figure out because they're that athletic. They can run. They can dive off of a double team and get back to cover that baseline with Gordon. I've never seen anything like it. That was the best defensive performance by a team I've ever seen in an NBA game.
Yeah, no, it was very good. It was stupid good.
Smothering.
Yeah.
Smothering.
On that note, if you're playing along at home, 7 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Pacers are up 49-43 on the Knicks.
There you go.
There you go. But they were up 2 days ago in the second quarter too. So
it's the NBA.
The rebounding, the Knicks, the rebounding in the second quarter has just been way off. But
they're missing somebody.
But
second quarter, who plays the second quarter?
Yeah, no, I know.
By the way, what I was going to say before, Rudy Gobert,
right, defensive player
of the year, 4 times.
Yeah,
only 2 other guys who have won it 4 times.
David Robinson and no, 4-time defensive player of the year.
One was a Denver Nugget.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Yes.
And
the other was
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
Wallace,
Yeah. So that's pretty good company.
Gobert's game is really interesting, and of course, if you look at Wemby's stats, I mean, he dominated them in almost every category, and I think had he not been a rookie, and had his team not been playing, had his team been if he was on the Timberwolves and had those numbers, he'd be Defensive Player of the Year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that it means something when you're to your team, but he's going to make Mark Eaton look like John Starks. It's just his block, and I said it. I mean, it's just physics. If you stick a billboard in front of the basket, they're going to hit it every once in a while.
I have to stop you 1 second, Harry. Okay, with all the comparison that's been made from this year to 1994, I implore you, don't say the name John Starks.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Well, trust me, I'm living with John Starks. He's called Jamal Murray.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and Roger said Minnesota's defense was like an 80s throwback of teams today are not used to it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, more 90s than 80s. I mean, there were some really good defensive teams in the 80s. Don't get me wrong, but it was real. It really reminded me. So remember the year Jordan came back and they lost to Orlando.
Yep.
In the I think it was the second round of the playoffs. And,
he came back late in the season and they lost.
The next year they went out and got Rodman. They came back and it was still Shaq and Penny and they crushed Orlando in I think it was the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
That Bulls team, that defense against a really good favored Orlando team.
Yeah, the offense was stupid in Orlando.
What this reminds me of what I saw the other night. Now let's see if Minnesota can continue it. But that's what Minnesota reminded me of. When you had the Ron Harpers and Pippen and Rodman and Jordan back after a full year back, and then you had the two big the bigs coming in playing defense, whoever it was at the time, the Luke Longleys or the Bill Wennington or center du jour for them, but they were deep. And they all played defense really, really well, with the exception of
I miss
DJ Armstrong.
I miss defense.
Right.
But
but it wasn't just I'm going to pound you inside. It wasn't the Knicks type of defense. It wasn't the Utah Jazz type of defense. It was we are going to trap you at half court, and you're not even going to get a pass off, and we're going to get a ton of points off of it. That's what it reminds me of.
You're not bringing the ball down. You're not doing it. Yeah.
You're not even going to get a shot off.
No.
And that's what it looked like to me.
So, there you go. All right. Well, I mean, these are exciting. The playoffs are exciting. Obviously, a little bit more so for us. Not so much for Pete, but as a Nets fan,
he's got his boy Kyrie's still playing.
Your boy Kyrie's still playing. That's why you want. Is that why you want the Mavs to?
And a little bit. It's hard not to like, Doncic and it's Kyrie. I should be bitter because it's a far less crazy version of Kyrie.
Yeah, right? That generally doesn't happen all that often.
I'm waiting though.
Never played in New Jersey.
I'm hoping and waiting.
They're going to be done before he blows up, I think. But I should be bitter about it. But the guy's just.
Dallas will win 2 games in that series.
You know how I feel about Kyrie's skills.
Dallas will win 2 games in that series.
I think the Nuggets will too. I do. I don't think.
I hope so.
Yeah, I do. I think they're winning at least one. There's no way the Wolves are sweeping the Nugs.
We'll see from your lips.
Yeah,
from your lips.
You. And I think.
And if it is OKC in Minnesota, it's going 7, and it's a toss-up. By the way, OKC's a really good team. People are not giving them the credit that they deserve. They're a really good team.
Yeah.
Minnesota, I think, is firing on all cylinders.
Well, I mean, there's a reason the Thunder are the top seed in the West. So, I mean,
right. Well, there's a reason because the Nuggets lost to the Spurs. That's why and if the Nuggets hadn't, they would be playing Dallas right now, and Minnesota would be playing OKC.
Dave Scardino is just commenting in some bad news for Knicks fans. Brunson is hurt and is out of the game right now.
Ah, God damn it.
All right, so we're losing this one.
Tape him up, get him back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Is his
Stick a
foot
needle in
falling
him.
off or whatever it is? Yeah, just fix whatever the problem is and get him going.
Yeah.
But in any event, all right. Well, we will see how it all plays out. Hopefully, in 2 weeks, we'll be talking game, probably by that point, maybe game 3 or 4 of the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals, and we'll see if we're right. We'll see if it's we'll see if we're talking Knicks Celtics or Pacers Celtics for that matter, or are we talking T Wolves and Thunder or T Wolves and Mavs?
Yeah, Brunson's only played 8
game
minutes.
Fours.
He's only played 8 minutes so far.
Yep, he has 5 points. He only played 8 minutes. So, yeah,
he must be
game
shot
fours will
before
be
the
on
game.
Mother's Day and the day after Mother's Day. Those will be your game 4s.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals by then.
Right.
Yeah. But all right, we'll see. Well, that's not good news for the Knicks and Knicks fans, but we'll hopefully they fix the issue, whatever it is. Is there a report on what, Dave? Is there a report on what the problem is?
We'll go to our sideline reporter later. Anyway,
we'll go to our sideline reporter. Let us know. All right, let's switch over to a little hockey right now.
How about those Avalanche, baby?
Yeah, well, I got something to tell you. I got a bone to pick with the ESPN feed, and you hate ESPN too, but not ESPN two, all ESPNs, not just two.
The Ocho, right. All the way up to the
Ocho, all the way up to the Ocho, right? Even you. In any event, last night,
I know.
Okay, 45 seconds left in the third period, and they switch to the Stars Avalanche game.
I know. I don't know why.
Hello, what the hell? Now they brought it back, and the Rangers won a power play.
I know.
So, fortunately, nothing happened. And it's literally Heidi-esque. It was literally Heidi-esque at that point. Like, you're watching the game, you're like, what the hell is that?
Like, you don't think I heard about this all day? I know people from New York. Some are big hockey fans. Oh, my God, this is the worst thing since Michael Bloomberg trying to control the size of their diabetes drinks.
Fortunately, it was about an hour and a half later when the next goal was scored, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of overtime games. Holy shit. But I mean, the Avs coming down from 3-0. They're down 3-0.
Dave says sore right foot, questionable.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go. Did Embiid get to him too?
No, they're only down by 3. So step up.
Step
no
up.
Pun intended.
Let's do it. So anyway, that's it. Look, I think the Rangers are playing great hockey right now. I think. Dave, I was talking to Dave Samurai earlier because we had another podcast we did, and I talked to him earlier about that. And
is that your cocaine and methamphetamine podcast?
It's the cocaine and methamphetamine podcast, exactly. It's always a pairing, right?
That's
it's
right.
always got a pairing.
Right. Yeah,
and Coke Boys podcast.
Exactly.
Cheese and fentanyl.
Keith Hernandez and Darryl Strawberry are coming on next week.
That's right. Cheese and fentanyl.
No. The Kilos podcast.
It's all about the pairing. That's what you get. Yeah. In any event, we were talking about it, and he hit the nail on the head. The Canes were swarming, especially in overtime. I mean, if it was not for Shesty, just basically stopping everything. I mean, 54 shots on goal he blocked.
Yeah.
He was knock on wood. He was just amazing last night. But hey, they're halfway through they're halfway through Carolina, and I think Carolina is the toughest opponent they're going to face in the playoffs. So if they can get past Carolina,
I heard a lot of pundits. Yeah. I heard a lot of pundits who had Carolina on their sneaky good watch out for them list.
Well, it wasn't even all that sneaky, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And the Rangers are sort of deflating.
Here's the thing that in watching the Rangers in this postseason, this always bodes well for teams in the NHL during the playoffs. They're winning games. A, they're winning close games, and B, they're winning games where they're not playing their best hockey at times, and they've come back a bunch of times as well. So all of those things together, the Avs and the Rangers, boy, that would be a really interesting finals.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. And that's why I said from day one, too, like we were talking about it, how awesome would it be that it's the Rangers and the Avs and the Knicks and the Nuggets, which we know the Knicks and the Nuggets probably most likely won't happen. But
I never know. Maybe the Nuggets have a better chance of making it to the NHL finals.
As Chris Berman says, that's why they play the games. So
yeah, they sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of good hockey teams left. There's a reason why they're the best.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado's up 1-0 on the Stars. Whatchamacallit, the Canucks and the Oilers haven't played game one yet. They're playing tonight, I think, right?
And the Oilers look, the Oilers are a good team. Yeah,
they are.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they beat Toronto, right? So it's again. Toronto lost to Boston. Yeah, that's right.
Toronto lost to Boston. No, the Oilers beat the Kings. The Oilers beat the Kings.
Yeah, the Kings.
But
Kings.
Boston almost blew it there. Went to Game 7.
Yeah.
A lot of people were very excited about that, but Toronto couldn't quite pull.
Well, it could be Boston and New York in the finals in the NHL and the NBA.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Boston and New York, both the NBA and the NHL.
We'll see.
We'll see. That'd be interesting. But yeah, the way the Rangers played against Carolina. Hey, if they can keep this up, if they can keep up the play. And I'm not just saying this as a Rangers fan. If they can keep up the play that they've played so far in the playoffs, but especially last night, all right, even with the swarming Hurricanes, the way they, I mean, any other team would have folded with the way they were swarming the puck and the ice last night. But if they can keep this up, the Rangers can keep this play up. There should be no reason that there's not a parade in New York in a month and change.
There's nothing better than a bunch of Rangers fans in Midtown. What could go wrong?
There you go. And Dave Scardino just said, absolutely, John, Carolina's the toughest opponent, solid team. Yeah, 100%. If the Rangers can get past Carolina, which obviously, 2-0 down, up 2-0 is a bit of an edge, right? If the Rangers can't pass Carolina, I think that's their toughest opponent. I think
we'll see.
We'll see. And he said,
we shall see.
Dave just said, very tough watching Rangers last night on a plane, and I couldn't go crazy. Well, I mean, you could, but it might not have been the best thing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Hopefully you're watching it on your phone and didn't have your head out the window.
Yeah. All right, so I'll ask. It's not an NHL, just a quickie or NHL question to the league by any means. But who's in the Eastern Conference Finals and who's in the Western Conference Finals?
I think it's Rangers and Avs. So other than that, I don't know enough to.
Gotcha. Pete?
In the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
You
think the Rangers are getting past Carolina?
Yeah, I think they are.
Do you think they're playing Florida or Boston?
I like Florida.
You do?
I know they're down 1-0, but
they're up 2-1.
Boston looks. Yeah, Boston has just looked shaky. I mean, they almost did what they did last year, which was be up 3-1, and then end up losing. They happened to beat Toronto, but they did that last year when they had the greatest regular season in history, and then they folded up like a.
I think Boston will beat. I mean, they're in Florida, right? These first two games are in Florida, right?
Yeah.
I think Boston wins. I think it's Rangers Boston.
I think it's Rangers Florida. I think it's the Panthers because they're the Panthers.
And who wins?
I'll go with Florida because fuck the Rangers.
Really? Is that right? That right? Is that right, Devils fan?
Yeah. I don't have a dog in the fight, but
there you go.
They're not my team, so fuck them.
Yeah.
And there's something ironic about a Florida team.
And just said the same thing, Dave. How great would Knicks, Celtics, Rangers, Bruins be? That would be awesome. Yeah. That would be awesome. Absolutely.
It'd be fantastic for angry white men in the Northeast. It would be fantastic.
West. Dallas is awful plucky, but I like the Avalanche.
Yeah, Colorado's winning that.
I'm pulling for the Oilers. I don't know. I like a town that names all of their teams, the same. I like it,
There you go.
I'll go Avalanche Canucks.
Yeah.
Avalanche Canucks. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You know what? I'm torn. I think it's going to be. I mean, you talk about '94. All right. How weird would it be if it's Rangers Canucks in the Stanley Cup Finals, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
God.
That would
Dave
be
just
cool.
said, "Oh, that Colorado air." Yes, absolutely. I think it's going to be Colorado. I think Harry's right. I think, knock on wood. Hope all goes well, but I think it's Rangers Avs in the finals.
Rangers Avs in the finals.
Yeah.
Unless
All
the
right,
Canucks
I guess,
bring back Pavel Bure,
There you go.
I'll go. Panthers Avalanche.
Panthers Avalanche.
Yeah, not the Rangers.
There you go. All right.
Anyone but the Rangers or the Islanders.
All right.
The Islanders don't have a shot.
Come on, Winnipeg! Damn it.
Anyway. All right. Any other?
Are we done?
Well, we know we have an over/under.
Oh, over/under, baby.
You got the over/under.
Do it. Let's do it.
Pete's box
All right.
over/under.
I want to just say one thing about baseball.
Okay.
We don't have to talk
Say it.
about it.
Say it.
So they announced the other day, right? We know we have all this controversy about the uniforms, and they don't fit right, and they're not tailored, and they show all the sweat, and they're just terrible, right?
Horrible.
And it's Fanatics, which apparently made them, and they suck. Anybody who's bought anything from Fanatics is, well, not anybody. Most people are not happy with them. Anyway,
I may have bought a few things from Fanatics over the years.
it's hit or miss.
I don't know what Fanatics is, but yeah.
Anyway, Major League Baseball announced the other day that they say they're going to have new uniforms ready for next year.
Good.
Next
They're
year?
They're going to play naked this year?
Next year? It's May.
Because there's a contract with Nike for these uniforms. And
but
that's
they fucked them up.
Yeah, well,
they should be able to bring them in. They've already admitted they're bad. They're going to redo them. You can't. We're a month into the season. You can't wait until next year.
You're right. It's stupid.
Come on.
But that's what it is. It's about a contract. It's about money. That's all it's about.
Major League Baseball.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Any other league.
I mean, this is
themselves in the foot.
This is the Seinfeld episode
everything.
Coming true, by the way.
It would not.
Yes, the cotton
it is.
uniforms that shrunk.
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me to find out. And I'm totally serious in saying this. It would not surprise me one bit to find out that Rob Manfred's daughter designed these uniforms,
or George
and they're going to roll with it, or George Costanza, either or.
Yeah, that just baseball has a way of shooting themselves in the foot about everything. They're never going to get back to prominence.
Nope.
As far as the four majors go, they're going to be number 4 soon. Hockey is going to surpass them in the next, I would say, 6 to 8 years.
Makes sense.
Because they can't get out of their own fucking way. About anything. About anything.
Hockey's not getting anywhere close to them.
Yeah, they are.
I think he said that tongue in cheek, but that's
no,
besides
they're not.
the point.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you.
It's about clicks, baby. Hot take.
Yeah.
I'm so over the Ghost Runner. Stop already.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Kendrick.
Move on.
All right, Kendrick Perkins.
I'm telling you right now, hockey is going to be more popular than baseball in the next 10 years.
All right. We're verging on a very bad
that's my best Kendrick Perkins impersonation.
Yeah.
That's the best you can do. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed.
All right,
to do that.
Johnny, throw that picture up there.
Throw the
tell
picture up there.
About tonight's over/under. We've had a few over/unders dealing with Pete's various medical issues.
We have.
How many pills does he take at night? And
That's right.
wait, we did wait a couple times. So there we go. This past Friday, yours truly was in the hospital.
It's a nice gown you got on there, buddy.
Thank you.
What's on your ears? Is that headphones? Or?
Yeah, they're headphones.
Okay.
But they're they wrap around the back. They're sport headphones.
Headphones.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I went in, and I believe this is shortly after the procedure. Still a little bit loopy from the anesthesia, as you could maybe tell.
So the over/under is what's the likelihood of which procedure did he have? Did he have a circumcision?
No.
Did he have?
Yeah, the over/under is 0.5.
Not with that smile on his face.
So I had a heart procedure known as an ablation.
Okay.
Because I have arrhythmia, and so an ablation is when they go in.
I know what ablation is. It's very
different. They go into your leg, and they go into your heart, and they burn nerve endings to make your heart beat normally.
Yikes. Good for you.
So we're going to do an over-under on how many ablations Pete has had, including the one this past Friday.
All
right.
So the over-under on ablations for Pete. Now, arrhythmia issues going back to around 2013, 2014.
Mm-hmm. So we got about 10, 11 years of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the over-under for ablations is 2.5. Have I had 1? Have I had 2? Have I had 3? Maybe 4?
I'm going to say 3. I'm going to go over.
Going to go over.
I'm going under.
Johnny's going under.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Harry, good job. This was ablation number 3 for yours truly. Yeah. So we'll see if this one.
Well, hope it's the last. Hopefully, it's the last. Hopefully this is as over as you get.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's weird. There's basically 2 types of AFib, atrial fibrillation. You have the kind that comes and goes, and then you have the kind that I get, which it shows up and then it just stays until they either shock you or they go in and fix you with a procedure, whatever. But recently I've had a couple of episodes of going in and out of fibrillation, which is a bit of a change. Well, it's better than just going in and matter of fact, I postponed this ablation from back at around the end of January because I went out of rhythm and then we're going to go in and do it, and then I went back into rhythm and I said, well, I'm not having it. But then a couple months later, I went back out of rhythm again, and that threw my caffeine was the cause theory right out the window because I hadn't drank any caffeine in months.
Well, that's good. So at least now you can still drink coffee, right?
Well, I guess, but so yeah, and then this is the really funny part. I went out of rhythm right at the end of March, and we were going away to Florida for my son's spring break. Yeah, right, for Easter. So I was like, okay, well, and they gave me pills to slow the heart rate down and stuff. So I was like, all right, we'll go to Florida. I'm just going to drive down there. And it wasn't like I was going to go hiking or anything anyway.
Right.
So we went down and, like one night we went to like a Brazilian steakhouse and I had like 1.5 pounds of different kinds of meat. And I was, I had a couple of margaritas and.
You were ablation prepping.
About 8. Well, at that point I was in AFib. I was like, hey, I might as well enjoy myself.
Right.
Can't get the heart any more out of rhythm. So, about 8 days later or so, in the middle of the vacation, I went back into regular rhythm. And that was while drinking alcohol and, eating less than ideal meals while on vacation.
Got you back to normal.
Got me back to normal. So then, but like I said, I decided not to postpone it again, to go ahead with it. And then my doctor was happy because
hopefully you're feeling better.
Before.
Yeah, hopefully.
I feel much better now. So, but yeah, it's been fun.
Third time's a charm, hopefully.
Third time
is a charm. That's what I tell people.
Pete had 3 ablations, and Nikola Jokic just won his 3rd MVP.
There you go.
If I ever go
something in the numbers,
I'll just go to Florida and go on vacation.
That's right.
Yeah, and drink margaritas and eat a lot of meat.
Drink margaritas.
I feel like they perform ablations at the steakhouse in Florida.
I bet you they do. I bet you can find a steakhouse that does that.
That's right.
Probably.
Like
in Florida. With
the Brazilian dancers.
Would you like your sides? Would you like your Caesar salad before or after your ablation?
They throw you down on the community table.
Exactly.
Clear.
Start putting straws together to make that long tube.
We find that gnawing on this pork chop will help you recovery time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're all glad you're feeling better, buddy.
Yes, we are. We're all glad you're feeling better. Please, anybody that's listening, write in on the Facebook page or even to the website and send your well wishes to Pete. But we're glad he's feeling better, and hopefully this ablation takes. There you go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay away from the caffeine anyway because.
Yeah. Well, I've been drinking. I've been drinking decaf for years. Not comparing, contrasting by any
That was
means.
the thing. It's
Yeah.
when all this started, I was staying away from it, but then I was drinking decaf, and it was like 1 cup on Saturday as a treat.
Mm-hmm.
Creep back into my daily routine, and
Sure
I was
enough.
drinking it every day. And then I went out and I figured, it must be the caffeine, but that was proven not to be the case. So
Yeah, it's weird. Like I can, coffee, caffeine and coffee.
Coffee.
Like I get coffee. I'm from New Jersey, so it's coffee.
Coffee talk now. We went for
Coffee talk.
Ablation time is over.
I'll give you a topic. Eggplant, neither an egg nor a plant. Discuss. There you go. Anyway, but that being said, no, if I have 1 cup of coffee, it's fine. But if I have a bunch of regular coffee, I'm getting jittery. I'm shaking. And it's hours, right, of that, and it's crazy. It's freaky, right? But here's the thing: as long as it's just the caffeine and coffee, I could eat a pound of chocolate and drink a 2-liter bottle of Coke and be fine. It's just the caffeine and coffee.
Yeah, you'd have diabetes, but that's fine. Yeah.
Well, that's another issue.
You wouldn't be jittery.
Right. So, anyway,
you'd be calm.
Exactly.
How you feeling? You look nice and calm. Well, I have diabetes. So
calm like Wilford Brimley, baby.
There you go.
I'm dipping my feet in some Quaker Oats
as we speak.
Calm me down.
I'm going to sit on a horse that's standing in a freezing stream.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Talk about a cold plunge.
Exactly. All right. We good?
That's it. That's all I got.
About as good as it gets.
Let's go watch the Knicks. On that note, we'll wrap the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch every other Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Stitcher. I'm sorry, Stitcher is not
MySpace.
Said that already. TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Rephonic.
WMBC.
Pretty much, exactly. Pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you'll find the Get On With It Sports Podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Watch the NBA playoffs. Watch the NHL playoffs. And we'll talk to you in a couple weeks, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Oklahoma City getting shut out of the awards.
That sucks.
Except for coach. SGA Most Valuable Player loses to Jokic. That's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Chet Holmgren loses Rookie of the Year to Wemby. That's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that kills me. Clutch Player of the Year goes to Curry over Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, of course. NBA has their favorites.
They do have
Carlos Rodon, 6.1 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. The Astros are done.
The Astros are pretty toast.
Is this the end of the Astros
run? I believe it is. Yeah.
That would be fine with me.
I mean, Verlander got lit up yesterday.
Yeah, but he still gets to go home to Kate Upton.
Well, that's true. So there's always a golden lining. So I was going to say silver lining, golden lining. That deserves a golden lining. Yeah.
He wins a Golden Globe every night.
A couple of them. Yeah. Anyway. Exactly.
All right. Bye, everybody.
We'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Cheers.